How Oleksandr Usyk faced the most dangerous knockout artist in boxing history.
His record? Perfect. 19 fights, 19 wins. All 19 wins coming by way of knockout. He is a two-time Olympian. He is making his 8th world title defense. He is boxing's only world champion with a 100% knockout ratio. He is the reigning, he is the defending WBC, IBF, WBO light heavyweight world champion, and representing Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Artur.
Today, these two represent an almost impossible fight in professional boxing. Oleksandr Usyk is a historic champion who has long moved far beyond the weight class where he once crossed paths with Artur Beterbiev. And Beterbiev is the embodiment of pressure and brutality at light heavyweight. A man who spent years building a reputation as the division's most relentless enforcer. And here's the paradox. In the professional ranks, they can't meet. But in the amateurs, they already delivered a trilogy that most fans never properly broke down. And most importantly, the scoreline in that series is perfect for storytelling. Beterbiev wins the first fight. Usyk takes the next two. Today, we rewind the clock and look back at how it unfolded. 3 meetings, 3 different contexts, different weight realities, and one shared constant: either man ever abandons his style. This matchup in the professional ranks looks like something fans draw in their imagination, but reality is harsh. Usyk moved up through weight divisions and established himself at a completely different level, with a different physical profile. Beterbiev built his career at light heavyweight, and even when people talk about him moving up at his peak, the equation becomes entirely different. And that's exactly why their amateur fights are gold. That's where they meet within Olympic-style boxing, where scoring, tempo, and tactics work differently. And there you can see things we rarely witness in the professional ring. How Usyk neutralizes a power puncher without turning the fight into a war on the inside. And how Beterbiev tries to impose pressure on a technician in moments where technicians usually glide away. Artur Beterbiev is not just a puncher. His amateur foundation was elite: medals at world and European championships, gold at major international tournaments. Ultimately, he reached the quarterfinals of the 2012 Olympic Games. His style was shaped long before the professional ranks. Constant pressure, physical presence, consistent body work, and most importantly, psychology. The opponent has to feel that even retreating is another form of punishment. And here's an important detail for our story. In both 2011 and 2012, he lost to Usyk by the same score, 13-17. That became a defining point for him, as the same future Olympic champion stopped his run twice. Oleksandr Usyk in the amateur ranks was not a mythical, unbeatable fighter from day one. He developed over time, went through a long learning process, and on the biggest stages grew into the fighter the world would later come to know. key facts that matter for the narrative. In 2011, he won the World Championship at heavyweight, 91 kilograms, the same tournament in Baku where he defeated Beterbiev. In 2012, he captured Olympic gold, and standing in his path to that medal was Beterbiev. Specifically in the quarterfinals, Usyk's amateur style is exactly what would later define his professional version. Constant movement and footwork tempo, distance control, precise timing, and highly pragmatic discipline. He doesn't fight beautifully, he fights correctly. And it is precisely against Beterbiev's pressure that this discipline becomes the key. 2007. The Russia vs. Ukraine tournament, Amber Gloves. Not the Olympics, not a world championship, but at this level of amateur boxing, it carried real meaning, country versus country. There was no room for weakness here, because every round was judged not only by coaches, but by the selection system, reputation, and a fighter's future place on the national team. Two young, hungry, yet already dangerous fighters stepped into the ring. Artur Beterbiev, more physical in his approach. Oleksandr Usyk, more mobile, but not yet the endless motor the world would later come to know. In this format, Beterbiev did what he has always done. He didn't try to outbox technically. He tried to force his opponent to work under discomfort. This is an important point for viewers to understand. In amateur boxing, pressure alone can win a round even without a knockdown, if one fighter looks like he's constantly retreating and unable to respond in time. And that's exactly how Beterbiev won the first fight. Open sources report that he took the victory on points, and Beterbiev himself has confirmed in interviews that he defeated Usyk at the 81 kilograms division during the tournament in Russia. The head-to-head score became 1-0 in favor of Beterbiev.
Сборная команда не готовилась специально к этому туру мира. Это такой проходной этап. И здесь знаете, действительно, я думаю, что я буду прав, что скажу левый сбоку, и очень сильный удар у него. За счет того, что есть движение, есть желание, а комбинация немножко поактивнее, то, что Beterbiev боксер, который хорошо
после первого раунда 4-3, всего одно очко преимущество минимальное. Вот уже...
Видите, ударил и сильно ударил. Ну поставь, брось, два брось, а потом атакуй. Раз-два. А вы знаете, вот я говорю, что он не включает... И думает, ну что же я не могу взять его, просто поставить в угол, отойти к...
Непонятно и неясно.
В процессе подготовки к чемпионату мира.
Минимально 7 начинают боксеры. 8 счет раз. Может решить здесь один точный удар.
Дорогие друзья, это тренировочный бой. Вывод Beterbiev. Вот. Но это значительно решающего боя. Что ты на него смотришь? И он на него смотрит и думает, как надо бить с угла. То есть...
Называется, вырывает победу наш...
Кто вырывает?
October 4th, 2011. Baku. AIBA World Championships. Quarterfinal. Heavyweight division, up to 91 kilograms. The stakes here were enormous. Not just a victory, but a chance to secure a medal at the World Championships and move closer to a world title. This was no longer a youth, country versus country matchup. This was the global stage. where both fighters were already considered elite contenders at their level. In amateur boxing of that era, fights were often judged by three key elements: who landed the cleaner punches, who controlled the tempo, who made the judges see dominance. Beterbiev moved forward, as always. Usyk did what an Olympic-style technician does: he met attacks, shifted angles, and refused to stay on the line of fire. You can frame it beautifully like this. Beterbiev wanted to break the fight. Usyk wanted to dissect the fight. And the result was official: Usyk won 17-13. The series was now tied at 1-1.
Из разных сложных ситуаций валили, и это не говорит о том, что мы перехвалили Артура, просто на самом деле он подавил и атаковал он ровно столько же. И где эти попадания точные?
Я вчера во время репортажа сказал, что в начале вот этих судейских, не Ляпов, я бы даже сказал, вот в предыдущем бою с Агабяном, да и сейчас.
То, что сейчас происходит, да. Просто кому такой бокс нужен? Взять...
Вот великолепная попадание.
Да, сейчас Beterbiev очень такой... Он почему-то слегка зажат, вот пропустил. Взять Beterbiev. Кто из них сильнее? Ну, конечно, Beterbiev. Почему же Усик не ставил?
Что, если судьи
вот
против тебя, если они будут так считать, надо просто ломать.
Там брал несколько очков.
Ну вот сейчас, конечно, судьи посчитают вовсю. Я сейчас 81 килограмм, а Артур вот стоит тяжелый в 5 очка. Большая. А ты говоришь, что очень сложно это будет. Да, это, конечно, нельзя было.
Хорошо, пусть счет будет равный. Это много. Это очень много. Да, возможно, мы
Потому что Украина, ну, мы знаем этого боксера хорошо.
Нет. Несмотря на то, что
Были пропущенные удары, а
это вы встречные удары, но обоюдно, но не...
тогда он всего лишь один удар.
Еще. Опять же давайте дождемся счет, потому что мы подчас думаем о...
Сегодня первый.
August 5, 2012. London. Olympic Games. Quarterfinal. 91 kilograms division. An Olympic quarterfinal is the moment where a career either turns into legend or remains a what if. Usyk was marching toward gold. Beterbiev was chasing a dream, but once again, Usyk stood in his way. Round 1. Beterbiev tried to bite down immediately. He didn't allow his opponent to build momentum. Usyk avoided turning it into a brawl. Instead, he neutralized moments with footwork and precision. Round 2. Olympic quarterfinals are always tense. Every unnecessary risk can break the fight. Here, Usyk looked like the fighter reading the seconds better. When to engage, when to disengage, when to score and step away. Round 3. Beterbiev pressed forward, knowing he needed to change the picture of the fight. Usyk maintained structure. And that's exactly what Olympic judging rewards: control, cleanliness, and discipline. And the official result, one you can state with confidence. Usyk wins 17-13. After this victory, Usyk moved on, and ultimately captured Olympic gold at London 2012. Final score of the trilogy: Usyk 2, Beterbiev 1. This series shows two truths about boxing at the same time. Power can defeat an early version of a technician. But when a technician grows into championship discipline, he can overcome the pressure fighter, even one at Beterbiev's level, more than once. Beterbiev was a truly elite amateur and a championship-level fighter, reaching the highest stages and, in 2012, losing only at the quarterfinal level.